it feels nuts to me because I feel like I'm talking about access. I'm talking about, oh, it's already over. Okay, now I'm talking about nope, that one's already over too. So if you thought about it, want to have, a look at the schedule or anything like that, let me know. We can talk about it. But let's get started in child's pose so we can get moving and sweating and all of that good stuff that comes with Yoga Ignite. In your child's pose, wide knees, forehead on the floor. Take a few moments to get settled into the mat and into the space. There's like a general consensus of everyone coming in and being kind of in a space of like, I don't even know where my head is right now, or my head's not connected to my body, or my brain's not connecting to my mouth, all of that good stuff. And that kind of happens when we're in a transitional space, right? Like we're towards the end of summer, sorry, Nanette, and moving our way into fall. So there's a lot of shifting with people's schedules and mindsets and different things that are happening. So take a deep breath in through your nose, fill yourself up, and clear all that out on your exhale. 2 more. Breath in, breath out. 1 more time. Full breath. Purposeful exhale. And start to create your ujjayi breath. Like get your attention on just that one thing, moving the air in and out of your body. And take downward facing dog. So you move it around any way that you see fit. Pedal it out. Maybe you're transitioning from up dog to down dog. Find a sweet spot where you can have your hands and your feet connected to the ground. Keep building your breath. And walk your feet up to your hands, hang in ragdoll. You create the shape you want with your hands and your arms. And start to tap into the 4 corners of both of your feet. So both the big toe mounds, pinky toe mounds, both sides of your heels. And then notice which part of the feet is taking most of the weight. And if you can press down in places that aren't taking as much weight, even that out. And press into your feet, rise all the way up to standing. Reach through your fingertips. Bring your thumbs to heart center. Set your intention for practice. Pick one specific thing that you want to focus on. We'll send those intentions out with 3 ohms. Deep breath in. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull if you've got weights. High push up and pause. Tap the right knee to the right elbow. Left knee to the left elbow. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Big breath in together. Empty it out. 2 more. Breathe in. Breath out. Last one. Exhale completely. Look forward and move. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Rise up to standing. A big inhale that fills you up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. Get the fingertips in the ground. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 big breaths in. Empty out. Full breath. Big exhale. Good. 1 more. Get empty. Feet to hands. Halfway lift with the weights. Fold down. Extended mountain root into the feet to reach up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High plank. Toes and fingertips press. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Push the air back out. Number 2. Empty. There it is. 1 more. Exhale completely. Step or jump to the head of the mat. Halfway lift. Fold down. Extended mountain. Rise up. Start to go back on this one. Stretch. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High plank. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing. Downward facing. Big breath in. Push the air out. Yeah, you're clearing space. Breathe in. Breath out. Last one. Empty, empty, empty. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold down. One more Sunday. Rise up to standing. Go up and back. Yes. Forward fold. Halfway lift. High push up. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Push the air out. Breath in. Empty. Last one. Empty to the pit of your belly. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose and breathe. Get settled into the feet, the heels, the parts of you that are touching the floor. Full connection. Big breath in together. Twist right on your exhale. Open up, breathe in. Stay and breathe out. Chair pose, reach. Twist left. Inhale, open. Stay and breathe out. Chair pose. Fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. Step through. Stretch the sides of your body up. Low push up. Big breath in up dog. Let it out and down dog. Left side warrior one. Press both feet into the ground. Low push up. Upward facing. Downward facing. Big breath in. Clear it. Breathe in. Press your fingertips down. Exhale. Yes. One more. Empty it out. Step or jump. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. One breath. Twist right. Inhale, open. Stay and breathe out. Back to chair. Twist left. Open on the inhale. Stay for the exhale. Chair pose. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High plank. Knee tap. Knee tap. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior. Step through. Lift your chest up, up, up to the ceiling. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side warrior one. Step. That long slow inhale goes all the way up to the top. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Big exhale. Breath in. Breath out. One more. Exhale completely. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. Sit deep. Twist right. Inhale, open. Stay and breathe out. Good. Chair pose. Reach. Twist left. Breathe into open. Stay and twist. Chair pose. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High plank. Feet and hands. Knee to elbow. Knee to elbow. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. Knee right on top of that front ankle. Low push up. Inhale up. Exhale down. Left side warrior one. Step and stretch up. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Big breath in together. Clear it out. Breathe in and out. Last one. Get empty. Move forward. Last sun B. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. Lift and spread the toes. Twist right. Inhale, open. Stay and exhale. back to chair. Twist left. Open, breathe in. Stay and breathe out. Back to chair. Fold. Halfway lift, tricep pull. High plank. Knee to elbow. Knee to elbow. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. Step through. Take your gaze right up to the ceiling. Low push up. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side warrior one. Press in, reach up. Low push up. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Definitely have the sweat and the heat going here. Send your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. Slow as you can, flip your dog. Let the weight of your leg peel your fingertips off the floor as you flip. Yeah. So it's smooth and the transition is long and fluid like the pose. So if wheel pose is there for you, go for it. If the cactus arm is there for you, go for it. Yeah, just inviting space in and see what you've got available in this moment. Then flip back over, side plank. Left hand straight up to the sky. You can put a weight in that top hand if you want. If there's no weight, spread your fingertips apart. Yes, bring that hand into the pose. Take one more inhale together here. Purposeful exhale. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. Slow and smooth, flip the dog. Let the leg peel your left fingertips. Nice, Steph. Then wide open. You create the pose and invite space in. Maybe there's tightness around your neck and shoulders and you've got your attention there to open up space. Beautiful. Keep the breath going. Flip back over, side plank. What's touching the ground, the foundation? Start there and work your way up. Press down into the foundation to lift the rest of the body up. One more breath. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Full breath out. Right side crescent lunge. Step through. Keep the breath going. Let the sweat drip. You got it. So foundation is not only just the feet and the hands and when they're touching the ground, but it's also your core. It connects, I saw that, Jen. It connects the upper and lower parts of your body. Pit of the belly in and up here. Let that lift your hands up and away from the floor. Nice, Nanette. Hands to heart center, twist right. Keep the breath going. You can keep the palms together or open up your arms. And then notice as you're building the pieces of your foundation, the feet, the core, and the hands, what piece is the most asleep? Put your attention there. Stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Warrior 2. Take up all the space on your mat. Then a deep lunge in your front leg. Make it so that there's a deep lunge and there's heat being created, tapas being created in both of your legs. Extended side angle. Front elbow to thigh or fingertips down by your arch. Build a half bind. Top arm around your back. Just pause with the half bind and peel your top shoulder open. Yeah, bring it back behind you. Full bind if it's there for you. It may take a deeper lunge in the front leg to create space for that. Now that you've got those pieces, eyes set on one spot. You've got one more inhale. Stay for the exhale. Gaze set. High to low push up you go. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side crescent lunge. Step through. Foundation, feet on the floor, core in and up, hands up to the ceiling. So when I say core in and up, I don't necessarily just mean going and squeezing your guts in. Front of your pelvis up towards your belly button. Good adjustment. So tailbone can drop down towards the floor. Hands to heart center, twist left. Keep that intact. The front of the pelvis lifts up towards your belly button. Then open your arms if that's where you're headed. So feet, core, hands to build the foundation of the whole pose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, warrior 2. Add more breath. Steady and smooth. The breath is a huge part of that foundation. So even though you're working to integrate the core into the foundation, the chest and ribs can expand for breath. Extended side angle. Each one of those pieces, you're just pausing on each one as you land in each pose, checking in and building the foundation. Half bind. Front of the pelvis up to the belly button is a huge piece in this pose that seems to go a little sleepy for most. Full bind if it's there. Peel the top shoulder open, eyes set. Last breath in. Stay for the exhale. Full pose, high to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. Clear it out. 2 more. In and out. Last one. Empty completely. Step or jump forward. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose and stay. Down, down, down into the hips. Send them all the way towards the back edge of your mat. Add more breath. A breath that travels all the way down into the torso. Go from chair pose to iron footstool. Rise to the ball mounds of your feet. Pull the core in and up to lift that energy up to your fingertips. Beautiful. Drop the heels, hands to heart, twist right. Stay in the heat of it. You got it. That slow burn. Arms open wide. Fingers open wide. You'll stay for 2 breaths. In. Stay for the breath out. Good. 1 more. Whole exhale. Twist, twist, twist. Chair pose. Fold. First 2 fingers around your big toes. What's touching the floor? Reconnect. It might be the breath that's now out of sync with what's going on and what's touching the floor. Bring that piece back in. So that might mean you need to flutter your lips here. It could be an exhale through your mouth. You just reset there. Yeah, you got this. Okay, crow pose from the head of your mat. Crow number 1. Hands on the floor. Pit of the belly in and up. That space below the belly button. Pull it into the front of your spine. Feet awake, either pulling in towards one another or pressed into the floor on purpose. 1 more breath. Step or jump, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Full breath in. Big exhale. Feet to hands, move forward. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Chair pose. Dial into the breath right away because you know where you're headed. So you're just going to focus on this one pose, foundation, and then in and up through the pit of the belly for iron footstool. Rise to the ball mounds of the feet. Yes, thighs parallel to the mat if you can get them that low. Heels up towards your tailbone. Nice, Philomena. Drop the heels, hands to heart, twist left. Stay low in your hips, low in that work, and open your arms. You got this. 2 breaths. In, twist on the exhale. Last one. In, whole exhale, twist, twist, twist. Chair pose. Fold. Gorilla, step on your palms. Then you dial back in. What's disconnected? What can you pull back in and connect to foundation? Just stepping on your hands now. Is there a part of your hands that's not connected to foundation? Steady the breathing. Crow number 2, steady Ujjayi breath. Use those exhales to press your palms, your fingertips deep into the floor. If your toes are touching the ground in your crow, press them into the floor on purpose to help in lifting the pit of the belly up toward the ceiling. 1 more breath. Shoot back, low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Good place for a side. Deep breath in. Clear it. Yeah, much needed. Breath in. Last one. Step or jump, feet to hands. Halfway lift, tricep pull. Fold down. Rise all the way to standing. I'm going to give you the option today. Eagle pose. You can take the pose on your back if you want. Eagle pose, right side. Right arm under, right leg over. Either on your back. There's no catch, not yet. On your back or standing up. Settle into it. The foundation of the pose. The four corners of the standing foot if you're upright. The four corners of your back if you're on the mat. So that's both shoulders and backs of both of your hips. Left side eagle. Left arm under, left leg over. The four corners, whether you're upright or on your back. Steady the breathing to steady your balance. Eagle pose, right side. Breath sounds good. Keep it slow and steady. Just that one piece, having the consistent 4-part breath, can help in building the foundation and keeping you down in your body instead of up in your head where things get more complicated. Now listen, go from this side eagle to standing leg raise. You're going to just grab your right raised knee or grab your right extended foot. Left hand can be on your hip if you want, or out to the side. Just stand right here in center. Steady the breathing, standing big toe mound into the mat. Nice, Allison. Good adjustment. Take the leg out to the right, reach and look left. Here's a place where the breath normally gets short or disappears altogether. So be the one that keeps the rhythm of the breath going here. Come back to center. Listen, switch hands. Left hand on the near foot. Opposite arm reaches up and back for dancing Shiva. Those of you on the floor, take the leg way out to the side. So that right hip will peel off the floor. There you go, Abby. Yes. Back to center. Both feet to the floor. Shake that out. Woo! I know. Eagle pose, left side. Left arm under, left leg over. So even though they're balancing poses, there's a strong opportunity to connect to foundation in a different way by stacking more of the poses and seeing how long you can maintain that stable balance with what's touching the floor. Eyes on one spot. Standing leg raise, hand to the left knee or the left foot. Pull in and up. The pit of that belly lifts in and up, almost to underneath your rib cage to stabilize balance. Nice stuff. Open up to the left. Reach and look right. Steady breathing while your leg is open. Nice. Flex your left foot. Yes. Slow and steady. Come back to center and switch the grip. Right hand to the knee or foot. Left arm goes up and back, and it helps to keep the gaze straight ahead and take the arm back and then follow with the gaze, so you're just doing one piece at a time. You got it, Abby. Pin that left shoulder down to the mat. Yes. Back to center, foot on the floor. Whew, shake that out a little bit. Good work. Standing bow or dancer's pose, right side. If you're taking this on the floor, it looks like the same pose. You're just laying, I'm spilling my water everywhere. You're just laying on your side and grabbing a hold of the ankle that way. Dancers, you can definitely use a strap or a towel around your foot. Eyes on one spot. Steady, rhythmic breath. One more big inhale. Switch sides. Left side, standing bow or dancers, either laying on the side on the ground or the pose upright. Set your gaze right on one spot. And then tap back into the breath. So if your breath feels pretty loud, but your neighbor's not breathing loud and you can't hear them anymore, tap back in. Switch sides. Right side, second set. If you want to switch to dancers or standing bow and alternate the pose, you're welcome to do that. right side. Put most of the attention on the foundation. What is touching the floor? And can you lift that up into your core? Last breath in. Switch sides. One more. Take the pose on the left. What's touching the floor? Can you lift that push, the way that you push your foot into the ground, up into the center of your body? One more big breath. Open. Both feet to the mat. Tree pose, right side. You might take the hip opener version of tree pose with your leg crossed over your thigh like a figure four so you can get both hands to the ground and create more foundation that way. As I slowly mop up an entire water bottle here. Drishti. Eyes on one spot. That's what life is like, right? You're like, cool, I'm in the zone. I got my foundation, and then something happens. Life happens. A bad phone call happens. Someone rear ends you. Switch sides. Left side tree. You thought something would go one way, and then it went the exact opposite. And then even in those moments, can you plug in? Just for a moment, plug in and create foundation. One more breath. Both feet to the mat. Come up to the head of your mat if you're not there already. Extended mountain. Reach up to the ceiling. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Tricep pull. High push up. Knee tap on the right. Knee tap on the left. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side triangle. Step your right foot between your hands. Build the breath back up. Purposeful and intentional. You're building heat in your body on purpose, and you can use that breath to move the heat where it needs to go. So there's an openness and a fluidity to the way that you express your postures from here going forward. Plug your front big toe mountain into the mat so much that you can feel the pit of your belly lifting in and up. That energy transfers up your leg and into the pit of your belly. Rise all the way to standing. Side facing wide leg fold. You've got two options here. You can take ninja lunges side to side or wide leg handstand hops. Side to side or the hops. So if you're taking the hops, it's super wide fingertips and press and root your palms into the floor. If you're taking the lunges side to side, have that fine-tuned listening around how much space you've got in either hip. Maybe you spend a little more time on one side than the other and just explore that space. Breath sounds great, everybody. One or two more breaths to get complete with where you're working. And then you'll all meet up in center. Press into your feet, rise up. Namaste front facing forward fold or splits. A lot of you are pretty juicy at this point in the practice. So if you want to play around with splits, you've got some more space. Those of you taking Namaste fold, hinge forward. Find the sweet spot that comes from being just in one pose, that fine-tuned listening, so you can make adjustments moment by moment in the pose. That could be squaring the hips a little bit more. It could be rooting down into both feet further. Twisting triangle or twisting split. Stay dialed in. What's touching the floor and how can you use that to create the twist? Can you press more into the foundation to create a bigger open twist? One more inhale. High to low push up. Upward facing dog when you get there. Downward facing dog. Left side triangle, left foot between your hands. The focus is great right now. Keep the focus dialed in. Feet on the floor, pit of the belly in and up, fingertips awake. If it were only those 3 things that you paid attention to, the foundation and the power of every pose would be phenomenal. Does not take much to fine tune and hone a pose to make it powerful. Press into the feet, rise up to standing. Side facing wide leg fold with a bind this time. You can put the towel between your hands or interlace your hands behind your back. Hinge down. Feet connected to the ground. You let your breathing open up your shoulders and your upper back, so there's no need to force or push anything there. Gravity will open that up. Put your attention on the soles of your feet in the way that they're touching the floor. Is there more weight in the front of your feet? Can you sink your heels down a little more? Fine tune that space. The more specific you get about how your feet connect with the floor, the more awareness you can create around feet touching something. Release your hands down, rise up to standing. Namaste front facing or splits. We're going to have a little bit of extra hip opening when we get there, folks. So keep doing this work. Hips square. Pit of the belly in and up. Feet connected to the floor. For splits, maybe it's the top of the foot or tucked toes and back. Press down on purpose. Those of you in Namaste full, the whole sole of each foot into the floor. Keep that little bit of softness in your knee. Oh, yes. Twisting triangle, twisting split. Blocks are hugely helpful, especially when you're working your way into the split and out of the split. So use that if you've got it, and grab one to borrow if you don't. One more breath here. High to low push-up. Some of y'all are getting real low in those splits. I like it. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a full breath in together. Clear it out. Breathe in, breath out. Last one. Exhale completely. Make your way through to sit. Down onto your back for bridge pose. Rise up, bridge pose. Feet connected to the mat, shoulders connected to the mat. So there's your foundation here. Backs of your arms, maybe even the backs of your hands. What's touching the floor, press it down on purpose. I know for me, when I'm binding my hands underneath in bridge pose, I'm usually paying attention to the bind and not if my arms are even touching the ground or not. Press down on purpose. Nice, Josh. There you go. One more breath. Lower down. Knees side to side. All right, yogis, wheel number 1, smooth and fluid, just like the rest of your poses have been all practice. Wheel number 1, rise up. Up and away from the floor. Heart open, feet connected. Lower down. Breath in, breath out. Number 2, press, lift, go. No rush. It's just this purposeful choice to take bridge or to take wheel. Lower down. Breath in. Breath out. Number 3, press, lift, go. Up and away from the mat, wide open across the whole body, and lower back down. Breathe in. Breath out. Press, lift, go. Wheel pose. You got it. Just keep recommitting. Wheel pose or bridge pose. Tuck the chin and lower. Breath in. Breath out. Number 5, only 2 more. Press and go. Make it methodical and purposeful. Tuck the chin and lower down. Breathe in. Clear it out. Last one, yogis. Last wheel, last bridge. Press, lift, go. Stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Supta Baddha Konasana. Oh, yeah. Like hit that peak pose and let the feeling of that, the sensation of that come all the way up to the surface. Happy baby or dead bug. All of that work, the culmination, the back bends, all of that settling into your bones. Legs straight in the air. Set up for scissor legs. We're going to do scissor legs slightly different. So either hands behind your head or under your hips like normal. And then it's going to be slow but constant movement. So lower your right leg halfway to the floor, and I'll explain what I mean. Deep breath in. When you exhale, move both legs to switch. Yes. Pause and breathe in. Both legs to switch on the exhale. Keep going like that. Slow and smooth, where it takes the whole exhale to switch the legs. Yes. So some of you will be slightly quicker or slightly slower because your exhale lengths will be different, but that slow, purposeful pulling in of the lower abdominal muscles. Keep going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Flex your ankles. You're doing great. 3, 2, 1. Legs straight up. Knees into your chest. Give them a squeeze. Hands stay behind your head. Abdominal twist. Elbow to opposite knee. That same methodical movement where you're taking a whole exhale to twist from one side to the other, with the intention to leave a footprint on the surface that's in front of you, whether that's a wall, piece of furniture, another yogi, full footprints on the other yogi that's close to you. Keep going for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Keep the breath up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees in. Oh, forward and back. Make your way to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. To lizard lunge on the right. So from down dog, you'll step your right hand on the outside, or your right foot rather, on the outside of your right hand. Have the foot far enough forward that your front knee is directly over the ankle. So it's okay if the foot is a little in front of the ankle, but if the knee is in front of the ankle, scoot the foot forward. There you go. Knee can be up or down on the back leg. You can stay up on your hands or come down to forearms in the front. So that might mean elbows on a block. It's a good in between if you're working elbows to the floor and you've got one elbow that's kind of up in the air. Breathe right here. Let your right knee drop out to the right. So your foot will come onto the blade edge. You might be able to see the sole of your foot even if you've got that range of motion. Yeah, and you can leave it there. Put your right palm in the middle of your right thigh instead of on the side of the knee. In the middle of the thigh to press the leg away and open the hip. Now here, build foundation. You've got the pieces that are touching the floor, front of the pelvis up to the belly button. Yeah, good adjustments. Last piece is optional. You can stay here or bend your back knee and grab a hold of your foot with your right hand. The foot or the ankle. You may need to come up onto your hands if you're on your elbows to grab that foot. All the pieces. Right side half pigeon. Walk the foot across the mat or take down dog if you need to reset to take half pigeon. What space becomes available when you do a little bit of extra hip opening before the half pigeon? So in your half pigeon, a place for your forehead to rest, of course, and then choose something on purpose with your back foot. Or if you're taking half pigeon on your back, choose something on purpose with the both feet that are in the air. Flexed ankle, flat foot on the floor, either one. You're choosing something on purpose. Add more breath. Steady and rhythmic. You just keep coming back to that so you can reconnect to foundation. Downward facing dog. Shake it out. Lizard lunge. Left side. Left foot on the outside of your left hand. You choose the variation that works best. Knee up or down, on the palms or on the forearms. If you're like me and you're just dying to let the knee open to the side immediately, stay right here for the first part. You want to keep the hips closed, meaning both of them facing forward to build that muscle group first. Now, something to notice too in the different poses throughout your practice, if there are certain variations that you always take because they feel easier or more accessible, that's something to look at and pay attention to. Drop the left knee out to the left. Maybe the palm is in the middle of the thigh. You want to make sure it's the hand on the thigh and not the knee because the meat of the thigh can roll around your thigh bone, but knees don't like to get pressed side to side. Steady breath right here. Last piece, stay or grab the back foot with your left hand. Juicy quad stretch. If you're grabbing that back foot, just make sure that the knee that's resting on the floor, that right knee, it's right above the knee and not directly on the kneecap. You're good. Left side, half pigeon. Good stuff. Getting into the juicy parts. Juicy parts. If your brain's starting to take over and create a thing that you need to pay attention to and distracting you, cool. Just hit the reset button and come back to the breathing. I think that's one of the most difficult things about a yoga practice. It's not the noticing that you went somewhere because you can notice that eventually, like, oh, shoot, I'm thinking about a million other things and not here. It's the pulling yourself back without beating yourself up about it. That's the hard part. Having the ability to pull yourself out of your head without any judgment and just, nope, I'm coming right back to my breath. That's it. A few more breaths here in the half pigeon. Downward facing dog, shake it out. Last hip opener, frog pose or seated wide leg fold, your choice. If you're taking seated wide leg fold, maybe you try facing a wall or a piece of furniture where you can get both of your feet to touch the wall. So it can give you a little bit of feedback. Give you a little bit of feedback. The orientation of the body is different, but foundation pieces are still the same. Feet, core, hands. How are the feet participating in the pose? How is the pit of your belly participating in the pose? The hands, what are they touching? How are they participating? A few more breaths for your whole body, your brain to drop down into the body and what's happening in this moment. Soothing sounds of an emergency vehicle driving by the studio nice and slow. Yeah, and still you're just here in that seated wide leg fold or frog pose. It's like that, right? Life is just happening and you're like, cool, where's my foundation again? Okay, reconnect. Make your way out. Seated single leg extension. Right leg straight out, left heel in towards your thigh. You can put a strap or a towel around the end of your foot. You can put a block in front of your foot if you want a little extra reach. Toes up to the ceiling, and then see how you can incorporate the feet, core, hands here. So normally the low belly is the first place that disappears, or the attention on it disappears rather, in this seated fold. Bring that back in. Even though it may be touching your thigh, have that muscular action of pulling it in and up so the hip crease can deepen across the front of your right leg. Switch legs. Deep hip crease across the front of your left leg. Seated forward fold, both legs straight out. I love that these seated folds are at the end of the practice when I'm like, okay, I'm burnt out, I'm tired, I'm sweaty. Okay, let me just melt. Tabletop or reverse plank. Plant the palms behind your hips, let the fingertips face the front edge of your mat, and up you go. Press, press, press. Feet, hands into the mat to lift the core up to the ceiling. One more breath. Lower down. Fish pose. You can stick a block between your shoulder blades or tuck your hands underneath you. What's touching the ground? How is it touching the ground? Take one more breath in together here. Full exhale out. Make your way onto your back. Upside down time. So since you've been focusing so much on foundation this class, maybe waterfall, even though you don't normally take that, is the pose that you choose so that you can pay attention to the four corners of your back, shoulders and hips touching a surface. And if it's headstand, handstand, what's touching the floor? The parts of the hands, the fingertips, get really specific about it so you can adjust it real time and make the most stable foundation for your pose possible. Nice, Abby. Bring your ribs together. Steady rhythmic breath. Headstands and handstands have another breath or two, and then child's pose. Those of you in waterfall, press your shoulder blades down into the floor and then in towards your spine. That sensation of collarbones getting a little longer, a little further apart from one another. If you want to take plow pose from waterfall, go right ahead. If you'd like to stay in waterfall and work on that foundation, do that. Plow to deaf yogi. Bend the knees, hug them around the sides of your ears. Slowly make your way down, bone by bone. Hug your knees into your chest, give them a squeeze. Supine twist right. Drop the knees one way, twist and look the opposite. Supine twist, opposite way. If you're in studio, you've got a cold eye towel by the upper corner of your mat. Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet to touch one last time. Shavasana. Take up all the space you need. Long arms, long legs. As much of the backside of your body touching the floor as possible. Take one final breath in. Fill yourself up and up and up. Exhale it out. Let your entire body rest easy on your mat. Deepen your breath. Bring movement back to your hands and your feet. Plant the feet on the floor, rock onto your right side. With your eyes still closed, press down and rise up. Take a comfortable seat. Inhale, reach your hands overhead. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. We'll finish up practice together with 3 final ohms. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Thumb knuckles to forehead center. Thank you all so much coming into the studio, signing in virtually, and making a sweaty foundational practice happen. Namaste. Good work, everybody. Holy moly, it's sweaty in here. Okay, so any towels or straps that you borrowed can go in the basket outside the studio door. Any blocks can go over in the corner so I know what needs to be sprayed off. Have an awesome Tuesday, and hopefully I will see you on Thursday, same time.